Ho, 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 ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Heavily Contested Podcast, the podcast where
it's Christmas and we have NFL games on Tuesdays?
Oh,
Saturdays?
Truly a great Christmas gift.
Oh, man. Mwah, mwah. Can't wait to have a game on New Year's as well, right?
Actually,
We might have. You never know this year, man.
With what's happening and COVID and all that, you know, it's not out of question, I will say that. So, Travis, I want to talk to you something. This is a little off topic, but this is on the... Look, Christmas has been around for a long time.
Very long time.
Very long time. And, don't you think Santa's gotten a little tired?
Yeah.
You know, having done this,
2021 times.
Okay. Yeah, give or take.
Give or take.
But, look, consider this my official application to become the next Santa. Now, I'm really working for this job. I really want this. So consider this my first audition. Alright, now I have a gift for you.
Oh, you have a gift for me?
Because, consider this, everyone watching, this is my first audition to be Santa. Let me know how good I did, alright?
What is this, Barney?
Open up.
Right, guys.
Open it up, just open it up. Now grab what's inside. Grab it. There you go. What is it, Travis?
One free couch ticket.
Now, what's so special about this is that you Raider fans are going to be watching the playoffs from the couch this year. But what comes with this is also a team admission. And the Raiders themselves have volunteered to go sit on the couch with you guys to watch this year's playoffs. They decided to not make a push for this year's playoffs, and they decided to sit with you guys. How awesome is that?
It's not factual, guys. The Raiders will be in the playoffs.
No.
And in fact...
Guys, I did a great job. No, because, Travis, Derek Carr himself, he hit me up. He said, look, I see what you're doing for the Raider fans, and we want to have more of a personal connection with them. And he said the way that we're going to do that is, we don't go to the playoffs. That's not how you build those connections. You go and you sit with the fans and you bond with them. So they're going to be there right with you guys in the couch watching the playoffs this year. Isn't that awesome? That's just, oh man, you love to see stuff like that. That's what Christmas is all about, right? Bonding, family, friends, teams, missed playoff opportunities. That's just what I think of when I hear of Christmas.
I'm a Seattle Seahawks fan, guys. I love Seattle.
No, okay.
That's where I was raised.
They'll be joining too, actually.
They'll be joining too.
There's plenty of teams.
It's Niner Cave.
There's plenty of teams, but I wanted to give you guys a front row seat, so that's what that ticket is. Make sure you tape it back up. You'll need that come playoff time. All right? Okay. All right. Talk about being in the Christmas spirit. We had an interesting week of football due to COVID. We had a couple Tuesday games. We had 2 Monday night games. We still had that one Saturday night game.
We were supposed to have two.
And we also had the Thursday night game, which was eventful. You want to start with that one? Because I feel like I want to start with...
Chiefs versus Chargers?
Yes.
First of all, gotta say big prayers out to tight end for the Chargers.
Oh, Parham.
That was very scary. You hate seeing anything like that.
Yeah.
Because football is a dangerous sport.
Mm-hmm.
That injury looked like it could happen in any sport, really.
Yeah.
Because he just fell on himself.
It wasn't like a head-to-head contact injury. It was contact with the ground.
It can happen to anybody. It's always real scary. You see people go to sleep and all that. So, prayers out to him. He said that he's okay.
Yeah. So it looks like he's all good.
Now, for the good part, the positive things that we got to say. Travis Kelce, man. He looks more important to the Chiefs than Tyreek Hill does this year. I've seen it in other years.
I think he has been, though.
In other years, I would say if Tyreek didn't play well, it kind of told the story of the game.
Mm-hmm.
But this year, I think it's 100% like Travis Kelce.
Oh, yeah.
He's the key to the Chiefs winning games.
Oh, big time. And this has to be one of the first few games where I saw Travis Kelce finally wake up a little bit.
Yeah, like
I've been Travis Kelce's had some good games, but he hasn't had that Travis Kelce.
Yeah, like I'm the best tight end in the league.
Yeah, like where he tries to make that statement. This was definitely the game. But the problem here is that the Chargers missed their last chance to possibly take this division. Not possibly. Their last chance to take this division.
Yeah, they're not taking.
Now, what sucks is they lost the tiebreaker to the Chiefs. They had that tiebreaker that they had, so all they had to do was have the same record as them, and they would have been able to pass them up for the division. They lost that, and now they're sitting 2 games behind them.
It's over.
It's over. The Chiefs have taken the division, and
They're 10-4.
more than likely, we're about to see Kansas City be the 1 seed again.
Yeah, they're gonna be the 1 seed.
And
Very likely to.
host in the divisional round again for another year. Just when this team was sitting at 3-4,
They were last.
looking like things were going bad, and now they got 7 wins in a row, sitting at 10-4. What do you think about that?
Crazy thing about it all is, we always talk about the games, right? Like, in the game, Chiefs are known for coming back.
Yeah.
They came back on the season.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the narrative didn't really change.
No.
It's just, it's a bigger aspect this time.
Big time.
So, we always knew that the Chiefs could get really hot.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think that they could be hot for an entire game, though. That series of games. That's the crazy thing.
Entire series games, yeah.
Yeah, so
Well, they're just, and I think the real story for the Chiefs. This is kind of one of those first games in a while where the offense kind of won this game, but I feel like for the last few games it's been Kansas City's defense. I mean, look at the scoring totals for these last few games. They held the Raiders to 14, held the Cowboys to 9, the Broncos to 9, the Raiders to 9,
and the Packers to 7.
and the Packers. That's without Rodgers though. That's one I'm gonna have to.
That's
Still though, I can't.
7 points for an NFL team.
Yeah. So then in the end too, I also can't take it away. I just know that had Rodgers been there, it probably would have been a little different, but maybe not. The reason why this Chiefs defense has suddenly woken up, I think, is because of the couple pickups that they have. Obviously, Melvin Ingram is huge. So now they have Melvin Ingram. Frank Clark looks healthy. And then you have Chris Jones. Chris Jones, who's known to be a top interior D lineman for years now.
Top 3. Not 1, but he might be 2.
Yeah. And now they're just kind of meshing it all together. And that's what starts with the defense, is the pass rush. If a defensive pass rush is doing good, it helps out everyone. Because that means the quarterback has to throw quicker. He's more under pressure. It's harder for those.
And it's easier to stop the run with great D-line.
And with the great D-line as well, if you're winning on the front. So that's what's helping Kansas City right now. For the Chargers.
I will say with the Chargers, though, yes, they were in a close game and they didn't win. But this is the hottest team in the NFL. So the fact that even it's shown in the past, like with the Raiders, right?
Mm-hmm.
They were in close games with the Raiders last year.
Yeah.
They're still dominating those divisional matchups. So the fact that the Chargers were still good shows me that the Chargers will be in the playoffs this year. They are still a good team.
I have to agree with you. I think they need to shore up the inconsistency because, they lose to teams that then all of a sudden they lose to the Broncos. They have a couple games there on their schedule where it's like, oh, you have no business losing that game. Losing to the Ravens that badly in Baltimore when it was 34-6.
Oh yeah, they didn't show up.
They didn't show up. So there's games like that you can look on. But the main thing for the Chargers is you basically just stated it, and I'm gonna state it, is they're the team to look out for. Because if they get hot in the playoffs and they play to their full potential offensively and defensively, it's scary. This is a scary team. It's a team that, when they mesh together well, and we've seen it in many games this season, they look almost unstoppable. Because you have Justin Herbert, who is a great pocket passer, who's still actually mobile enough to still move around, throw on the run, even run for some yards here and there. You have Austin Eckler, who's a great receiving back and who's proven to be a cool little elusive power back even. He runs hard, man.
And they have one of the best route running receivers in the league, Keenan Allen.
And then they got one of the best big receivers in the league in Mike Williams. It's a good offense. And then you can look on the defense end, you have Joey Bosa, and then you have got Derwin James, you have the veteran Chris Harris Jr. So they have people on each side. So the Chargers, if they figure it out come playoff time, are one of those teams. And there's actually a couple teams in the AFC that I can mention for that. But if they figure it out, they are dangerous. And it will be interesting to see how well they do in the playoffs. Because I feel like the Chargers are just one of those teams that they just need to get in.
Yeah.
Once they're in...
I mean, they're not going to go to the Super Bowl 100%. But They're not going to the Super Bowl. But they could make a strong push and make it hard for a team to get there. That could definitely happen.
I want to put it 100% out of the way. Obviously, the odds are not in their favor.
Yeah, it's like a no.
But we'll see. Next one. Talking about a team that is dangerous come playoff time. The Colts versus the Patriots. And I said this.
Oh, man.
I said this. What did I say, Travis?
They're better than they're making news.
Am I right?
No, you're not right.
Okay. Sorry. Damn.
You know why? Because I was very curious about this. What was Carson Wentz's stats in this game?
Oh, 5 for 12, 57 yards, and a touchdown.
Is that like one quarter or one half?
No, full game.
57 yards for an entire game for a quarterback in this year's NFL. It's not going to be consistent enough because Jonathan Taylor, yes, he needs to be crowned. Can we crown him now? Can we crown Jonathan Taylor?
Oh yeah, well,
because he in the talks for MVP for me.
Yes.
Not that he's going to win it, because it usually goes to a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
But he's in the talks for MVP. Definitely is going to win Offensive Player of the Year if he doesn't win MVP.
Mm-hmm.
So that's that.
Okay.
Mac Jones. Give him a star receiver and they're going to the Super Bowl. I'm saying this right now. If you give Mac Jones a star receiver, like if he gets a Devontae Adams,
well, obviously, it's just a little too late for that right now.
Obviously, it's not going to happen, but
so to talk about it, the Patriots just chose a bad day to have probably one of their worst outings offensively, at least on the offensive end. Actually, defensively too, because in the end they let Jonathan Taylor run all over them. Mac Jones just looked off. He looked a little out of sync. For the first time, he looked like a true rookie there in that situation. But that Colts defense needs to be commended for shutting down what seemed like a red-hot Patriots offense. And they had guys, they have playmakers. You have Darius Leonard, getting an interception. Darius Leonard forces fumbles. You have DeForest Buckner working on the interior. You have Xavier Rhodes, who's kind of rejuvenated his career in Indianapolis. They have guys on that defense. And in the end, too, I do think they have what completes it all. And then also on the offensive end, they have one of the best O-lines in football. They have Jonathan Taylor.
They have the best O-lineman.
They have Michael Pittman, who's a very underrated receiver now at this point in his career, as Travis hates to say. And then you also have Carson Wentz, who's rejuvenated his career. Yes, he had a bad game this game, but he's also had games where he's 22 of 30, 300 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. He had his rough game. He had it, it was iffy. But the team was good enough to still win despite that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because Jonathan Taylor is the MVP.
And they had the defense who was able to pick up the slack too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So this Colts team is very complete, I do think. And what kind of finishes it all off is they have, again, one of the best coaches in the league, in Frank Reich.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing for the Patriots, like I said, I don't think the receivers are good enough for Mac Jones. Because, yes, he is a rookie, right? So he's not going to make the amazing plays all the time. He's not Patrick Mahomes. He's not very fast.
Yeah, he's not like Rodgers or Brady who can work with any receiver.
No, if you give him a good receiver, though, like Allen Robinson at least. Well, Allen Robinson's not as good this year, but
we'll see if he
finds it. But if you
else.
give him a star receiver, he could do a lot.
Yeah. No, I agree. I definitely agree. And you kind of proven the point. It's just the Patriots' main weakness showed.
Yeah.
This past Sunday.
They can't get separation. They can't really get open.
Yeah. That they do need help in there, and that's the one thing we said. Like when they made moves for receivers, it was Kendrick Bourne,
Nelson Aguilar,
and Kendrick Bourne actually, to Kendrick Bourne's credit, has actually played very good.
He stepped up.
He stepped up big time, but
he's not a star receiver.
It's Kendrick Bourne too.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. He's not a true number one when we look at him. And they
might not even be a number 2.
They got a good rushing game with Damian Harris, so he's helping them out big time. But yeah, that's not the Patriots' biggest weakness. But I'm not ready to rule them out completely.
Oh no.
Definitely not. In the end, when it comes playoff time and you have to go against Bill Belichick, probably in Foxborough as they're going to host a playoff game, maybe 2, then that's where it gets scary.
Oh yeah.
That's where it gets scary. Well, you have to go into New England in January. So we'll see how it goes. The one thing is, I don't think Indy and the Patriots had a horrible game, but I think this shows a lot more for the Colts right now. And this is a team now that feels probably very grateful for the position that they're in, and they don't have any intention of losing it. Now, just like the Chargers, I say even more so than the Chargers. This is a team that
the Patriots are way scarier than the Chargers are.
Oh no, not the Patriots though. I'm talking about the Colts.
The Colts.
When you compare wildcard teams.
Oh. Okay.
Like obviously, although the Colts actually are making a push for that division, if the Titans lose again, they break even on record.
Yeah.
Interesting. But if the Colts are, no matter what, if the Colts get in, they're one of those teams that they just need to be in. All those other losses that they had at the beginning of the season, their record, none of that matters now. It's just about what's happening right now. They're scary, even more so than the Chargers, I believe, because they're more fully complete and they have a great head coach with them who has experience coaching in these games. Let's get to your game, Travis. Now, the Raiders was supposed to be a Saturday night game. Ended up getting moved due to COVID. Didn't really make much of a difference for the Browns because in the end
they only got their lineman back.
They only got their lineman. They only got their one lineman. In the end, Baker and Case Keenum were out. So the Raiders did what they were supposed to do. They beat the Browns practice squad by 2 points.
Good job, guys. That's exactly what I expected to happen. I expected us to, just...
By only 2 points?
Yeah. That's exactly what I expect out of my Raiders. But, hey, a win is a win. But, let's get down to this.
Okay.
Derek Carr. This is the biggest issue that we have. We get to the red zone, right? He's great. The little dump offs. Here, running back. Here, slant route, out route. We get all
about the run out to the catch.
Yeah, we get all the way to the 30, 40-yard line.
Mm-hmm.
And then guess what? Offense. Done.
Stalls out.
And now we kick a field goal. When you have 6 points instead of 14 points, that's a huge difference.
Oh, big time.
Because now, instead of it just being 2 possessions that they have to come back with,
it's only
one. And that makes a huge difference. And that's what you've seen throughout the game. The defense played phenomenal. That's what they were supposed to do. It's a bad offense. They didn't let them really do much.
Yeah.
They had Nick Chubb, who broke some tackles.
But they still had Nick Mullins at quarterback without Jarvis Landry or anyone else.
Yeah, so they played how they were supposed to play. Derek Carr. Oh my gosh, it was almost the last play of the game for us on offense.
That pick.
Zay Jones. Triple teamed. Zay Jones. Who is that? Julio Jones back there?
That's the one thing about Derek Carr. I feel like his decision making is poor when it comes down to those moments. When it's under pressure, his decision making just goes all over the place.
Gosh, why would you? All right, this is the thing. So obviously he has a lot of trust in a lot of his receivers. He even lobbed it up to Brian Edwards over Denzel Ward, a great corner.
Great corner.
He made the play, but I would never do that in my life.
But that's good trust.
Yeah, that's
you
trust.
like to see that from a quarterback.
Deep threat, Zay Jones, triple team. That's the most terrible decision I've ever seen in my life.
That's not even trust at that point. That's just pure.
And okay, we got the ball back again. Now this is where Derek Carr comes through in the end, right? He drove the ball downfield, and we hit Zay Jones again to win the game.
Yeah.
Daniel Carlson is the MVP for almost his entire season. He won us the Cowboys game.
Yep.
And
Actually,
he won us this game
it's impressive to your kicker, Carlson, that they iced him perfectly. Yeah. As a coach, the way you want to ice a kicker is you actually want him to get that one field goal in.
Yes.
Because in that mental aspect, like if a kicker sees that he made it but the kick went a little to the left, then sometimes in that head mentally they're going to try to overemphasize, and that's when they usually miss. Carlson hit it better than he did the first time.
Yeah.
That is major props to him. That was most impressive. But now the Browns, it sucks because this probably just ended the Browns season, and the Browns actually had a chance to take this division at one point.
Yeah, that's over.
And it sucks because COVID was the one thing that took them out. Sorry, that's just how the world is sometimes.
Hey.
And the Browns weren't going to do much, to be honest. They're not a good team. It's not that they're not a good team. They're too injury riddled right now at this point in the season. Baker is so banged up that he's hurting the team by playing more than he is helping. And the injuries to the O-line, to the D-line, all of a sudden you find out that one of the other D linemen, hurts his Achilles. It's just they're injury riddled this season. On the other hand, though, the Raiders, this is not impressive.
It wasn't impressive at all.
I wouldn't come out feeling happy if I was the Raiders.
Guess what though? We get Darren Waller next week.
Oh yeah.
So we might see a different offense, and my plan is going accordingly.
Here's the one.
3-0, baby.
You have the Colts and you have the Chargers still. You know what I mean? So I can't look at this Raiders team the way they've been performing, especially after losing to the Chiefs so badly, and then they only beat this injury-riddled Browns team by 2. I can't look at the rest of their schedule and say that they're going to make it, especially when they're going against 2 wildcard teams. Because truly, this is the perfect situation for the Raiders. They get a chance to not only continue to win, but take down the Colts and the Chargers down a couple losses and get the tiebreakers over them to move up in playoff positioning.
That's about right.
They don't look like they're ready to do that, though.
They don't.
This team doesn't look like they're ready to do that, especially when they have to go into Indianapolis. And the Chargers, that's the team, too, that I guess they kind of had a home game already in L.A., and we saw how that one turned out, too.
Yeah. So the Broncos is we know what that is.
Yeah.
The Bengals, not the Bengals. The Colts, we just got to get the run game together. We got to stop that run game. And the Chargers, we just got to, we're going to have to figure out a way.
See, that's the thing, though. It's not instilling me with too much confidence with this.
I always got confidence in my team to surprise the world. So we'll see what happens.
You might have to tape up that ticket I gave you earlier this episode.
No, I'm throwing it away. We're going to the playoffs.
All right. Baby. Talking about a team who's actually going to the playoffs this year.
The Falcons.
Wrong team. Team. Actually, the Falcons had a shot. Funny enough. It feels like it's surprising that we even said that, but the Falcons were in contention for possibly making the playoffs. They were sitting at 6-7. And they had a chance to go against the Niners, who were only a game ahead of them. The Falcons could have slipped to even the 6th seed at that point. Crazy. Big opportunity, right?
So they won.
No. Not even close. They had a chance. They went into Levi's, and they got absolutely handled by the 49ers. Oh. Now, this was a great game for Jimmy Garoppolo and this Niner offense. Yeah. And actually the defense, too. First of all, here's the one thing about the Niners that I got to mention right now. We need to fix our special teams. Because we fumbled the opening kickoff.
Ooh.
We've muffled punts this all time this season. We've allowed kick returns, big kick returns for touchdowns. That can hurt a team in the playoffs.
Ooh,
you don't want special teams being the reason you want to lose a playoff game.
You don't want anybody looking like Devin Hester out there.
No. So the Niners need to figure out a strategy on special teams. Away from that, though, the defense played great. In the first opportunity that the Falcons had where we muffed the kickoff.
Yeah.
And the Falcons had it inside the 10, 4 plays, and they didn't even score. We had a goal line stop for the Niners. They had those goal line stops 3 more times.
Ooh.
Great defensive play. Jimmy Ward, Jarquiski Tart, Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, all kind of leading the charge there defensively. Offensively, Jimmy Garoppolo playing one of his best games of the season, 18 of 23 passing, 235 yards and a touchdown. George Kittle doing what George Kittle does, finally giving him the attention he deserves.
Third best tight end in the league.
Yeah, pretend he didn't say that. And then Jeff Wilson Jr. finally letting Jeff Wilson Jr. run the ball a little more. I know Elijah Mitchell's out, but I want to see more Jeff Wilson because I know Elijah Mitchell, he's a rookie, and he looks very good as a rookie running back, but I do think Jeff Wilson is better. Jeff Wilson is young, just like him, and Jeff Wilson has speed, just like Elijah Mitchell, but he comes with a lot more power and strength, which I feel like this
in them squats, huh?
which I feel like this Niners offense kind of needs. They need a little more power with their run game, and Jeff Wilson does bring that. So I am impressed with this Niners game. Now we have a big game coming up this week again, I'd only be repeating myself when I say this again. Great game for the Niners. We need to see it. Can the Niners do it 2 games in a row?
Yeah.
You know, can they play?
Dos.
Can they play with this consistency twice?
Dos partidos.
We'll find out. You know, but this is like a time for the Niners to really show if they're like truly a playoff contender. Because I don't want to go to the playoffs and just, you know, we made it to the dance, but then, you know, we're going to be eliminated by the Bucs in the first round.
Yeah.
You know, I want to at least know that we're a team that's capable of fighting. So this is a game that can prove it right here. Can we play consistency a couple weeks in a row? This is huge.
One thing I wanted to say, obviously the Niners dominated this game.
Yeah.
The Falcons suck. They're missing a lot of pieces. They need a new quarterback.
Yeah, Matt Ryan, this is now looking like a time where Matt Ryan's actually played good a lot. He's been underrated ever since that 2016 season. But this is finally the year where it looks like his time is
you and
finally
Ben should just go on a vacation together, man. Because Roethlisberger should be gone and Matt Ryan need to be gone too. But I might have been wrong about Kyle Pitts. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes,
I might have been wrong.
I was thinking about
because,
that.
yeah, I was watching the game, right? Obviously, they didn't score that many points, but he's like mossing people, and he still has enough speed to still run after the catch too.
He's a mismatch for linebackers, so he ends up being the guy that everyone pretty much anticipated him to be, which is a super tall tight end, big dude who can fight for the ball.
He didn't look 6'6" in college to me. Like I didn't see 6'6".
Yeah.
But now I'm like, oh.
And he can fight for the ball, and this is what makes like guys like Darren Waller, Travis Kelce, George Kittle. This is what makes them so dangerous. Is their speed. They're mismatches for linebackers.
They're faster.
You're better off putting a DB on them because they'll probably outrun most linebackers in this league. And the same goes for Kyle Pitts.
Yeah,
he's doing this as a rookie, which is extremely impressive.
Yeah. So yeah, I just want to apologize to Kyle Pitts. I was kind of wrong. He hasn't went crazy enough for the whole world to take notice. Mm-hmm. But he's on the right track.
Definitely.
So yeah, my apologies, Kyle Pitts.
I'll agree.
But you're on a bad team, so if you don't get a quarterback, I'm not apologizing.
Okay. All right. Let's move on. So before we do our Week 16 predictions and the Christmas games that go on for the football, you have a Christmas wish for your Raiders?
Oh yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah.
Anything that you hope to get for Christmas?
Oh yeah.
I would love to see what you have.
Santa, check this list 3 times, please, because I need this. I want Russell Wilson.
Okay.
I want Russell Wilson. I know he doesn't like the Seahawks. You guys don't win games. You only beat the Niners. Come to the Raiders, man. You help us out. We'll get you a receiver. Mm-hmm. And you already seen our defense. We got a lot of players. We could get you some stops, man. Besides that, yeah, but just come over here.
Good proposition.
And second thing I need from the Raiders, I just wish that everybody stays home and don't do nothing stupid. Stay off social media. Don't post nothing. Don't even tell nobody that you like gangster music. You don't like gangster movies. You don't like none of that, okay? I hate guns. We're against all gun violence. We love all types of people. Green, purple, yellow. Yeah. Stay off social media, guys. I hope nobody ruins their careers. Please. Thank you,
It's a little
Santa.
hard to do in Vegas, but we'll see how that goes.
Thank you, Santa. Nobody drink alcohol either. Yeah.
Good point.
And let's be celibate. Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
My Christmas wish for my 49ers, I already said it. Some damn consistency from this team. 1 week, we look like one of the best teams in the NFC. The next week, we look like the worst. It's so off for this team. I have a couple other things that can help with that consistency that I want to mention. Jimmy G has not played horrible this season.
Okay, we keeping Jimmy G?
No, it's time to move on from Jimmy Garoppolo next year.
Is Trey Lance the answer?
I do believe so. I do believe so. The reason why is because I believe when Trey Lance gets more comfortable, he'll bring a lot more to this offense that can help make up for when Shanahan's having one of his bad coaching days.
Yeah.
Trey Lance can be one of those guys who
he
can
just
bail
run
him
around
out.
the pocket and just
He can bail him out
laser.
when he fully gets to his potential.
Yeah.
Also, the biggest one is we need a DB.
I got y'all, man. Sign me right now.
Straight out of Deanza.
Straight out of Deanza College, man.
But like we need a DB bad. It's oh my god, I did not just do that.
Guys, Joe's having issues right
Sorry, but we really need a DB because it is even in this game. You saw Kyle Pitts was mossing our DBs. Russell Gage mossed. Russell Gage mossed. I'm sorry, Russell Gage mossed one of our corners. That that can't be happening. That can't be happening. I know Emmanuel Mosley's out, and Emmanuel Mosley's probably only going to be able to return for the playoffs for the 49ers. And Jason Verrett got that early season injury that's really hurting this team. And we don't know if it's going to be the same Jason Verrett when he does come back, which sucks. That hurts. But we need to draft a defensive back. Now, I know we don't have our first round picks for probably the next, 3 years? But we do have second round, third round, fourth round picks. And that's where
Derek Stingley.
And that's where you can find the diamonds in the rough stuff. The Niners need to really invest into making sure they get a DB. A true lockdown corner so that they can have someone that just locks down the side of the field or one receiver for the entire game.
Yeah.
I don't feel like the Niners have had that since the Harbaugh days.
Who was that?
Jim Harbaugh, back when we had Terrell Brown, Carlos Rogers, and they weren't like complete top in the league shutdowns, but they were great cornerbacks. Carlos Rogers ended his season with 6 interceptions, which is a good amount. Then you had Terrell Brown, who ended it with 4.
I don't know who Terrell Brown is, but
you weren't paying attention back then. But either way, it was a great defensive backfield. And it was a backfield that you felt like you could trust against even the top receivers in the league. I don't feel that right now. So that's what we need. Let's move on to Week 16. After that, we had our good little Christmas wishes. Santa, I hope you do listen.
Santa, also, can we get in the playoffs, please? Thank you. Christmas miracles always happen. Mwah!
I think Santa already gave you his gift. Alright.